Ladybeard! Hey, podcast kittens, it's Cathy Cat.
Oh, it's Ladybeard coming at you with another cap-twirling edition of Cat with Beard! How are you, my dear friend, Cathy Cat?
I am wonderful. You know what happened this time last year?
What?
I went to one of your performances.
Bless you, you did. It was very good of you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Bless
it was
you.
a lot of fun. I got a Polaroid.
You did. That was very good.
I got a glow stick just for
Yes.
that purpose
Yes.
in pink because I thought
Thank
that would be
you.
really good to represent
Thank you. It's my
and
colour, you
I
see.
supported you on stage.
I was very grateful for you coming that day. Thank you very much. Cathy Cat came to
you.
one of my live shows. Thank you, sweetheart.
Yes, and that ties in perfectly to today's topic.
Which is?
OSHI.
OSHI!
We're not talking about OSHI.
No.
No.
No, not for 1 second.
We're not talking about OSHI. We're talking about OSHI, which means a person or thing that you support with enthusiasm.
As in, like a fan might support.
Exactly.
An artist or something like that.
So, recently it's become so popular to have an OSHI that just this symbol that I'm showing off on the YouTube, the OSHI symbol, for everyone on the podcast, you might have to Google that. This symbol is literally just printed on badges. It's printed on t-shirts. It's just literally the symbol for OSHI, meaning I have someone I support.
But literally, this word means push. So
Yeah,
to
like
push.
the person that you push.
That's right.
So
So
if-
you're pushing their career, I suppose.
If you, for example, say I'm a fan of Arashi, maybe bad example, but if you're saying you're a fan of Group A, people will ask, who is your OSHI, meaning who in that group do you support?
Who's your favorite? Yeah.
So
Who's your favorite?
putting that into the 21st century, it goes, who are you supporting in One Direction? Or going back into the 90s, who of the Spice Girls do you support?
Who are you supporting in One Direction?
I don't even know their names.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about it then. That's
I
fine.
am so sorry, One Direction fans. Don't stone me, please. I'm so sorry.
So, oshing, pushing, supporting an artist, or not even necessarily an artist.
Doesn't
just
even have to be
someone or
a
other.
human being.
It could, yeah. You could decide you wanna support the whales. You could support the whales.
No, not really like that. But it's probably you can be an OSHI for someone who means a lot to you.
Okay.
So, for example, it can be idols. Mostly, this term comes from idols. Can be celebrities. Can be anime characters, voice actors or actresses, athletes. So anyone you're going there to support. Like you're like, I am proud of supporting them. I guess in the very first meeting, most of our parents are our very first person who support
first
us.
OSHI.
So we would be their OSHI in a way to literally make it as easy to understand as possible. If they turn up for your event and they have like a little thing saying, "Woo, go Cathy," then then they're to support you, and that's pretty much what
They are your oshi.
my mom never did.
Holy moly. We also have off camera, we have a special guest
Oh,
who
yes.
is an otaku expert who can answer all our oshing questions, all our queries. Anything we're not clear on will be answered by our special off-camera guest, which is my manager. Manager-san, yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
よろしくお願いします。
Onegaishimasu.
yeah.
We need
So,
your help on this a little bit.
As we have discussed privately, Cathy Cat, we feel, now listen, if you didn't tune into our last episode, it was all about religion in Japan. That was kind of specifically organized religion and so forth in Japan. The Japanese are not, a lot of Japanese people identify as being atheist, but it is my opinion that fan culture kind of replaces the role of religion in people's lives in Japan.
I mean, that's been used in a lot of fiction as well, and science fiction as well, where they go they try to replace godly symbols with things that they want it to be replaced by, generally people that they want it to replaced by. So, for example, instead of praying to God, in, for example, some of the dystopian fiction, you pray then to our great leader and such. So anyway, so taking the religious part of it away and you put in someone else there. And in Japan, there's a lot of people who very passionately will support their idols. So they might not go to church, but they will go to every of their performances.
Everything they do. Everything.
And they literally will religiously watch things that they produce or buy items that they bring out and such.
It's
explain.
as an artist when you're getting oshed by a fan, it really is a beautiful and wonderful thing. It's really profound and incredible to experience because you really do mean so much to this person's life. It's incredible.
It is wonderful to have like someone saying, hey, I want to support you. That kind of like it's a give and take relationship.
You're so important. But what's interesting is that the fans in Japan, the otakus, they embrace this otaku, this oshin culture, this oshikatsu, to the point at which it gets almost kind of like servitude or slavery at some point. They're like, oh, well, I'm broke this month, but you know, my Oshi's doing 6 events, so I don't know how I'm going to come up with another $1,000, but somehow I've got to do it. So it's almost like a strange slavery servitude relationship in some ways.
I think that depends on what level the fandom is, and it also depends on the person themselves, but also it depends on what kind of industry you're looking at, especially since I think the emergence of AKB, a lot of things might have changed because they found very clever ways of marketing, right? So if you bought so many CDs, you got the chance to shake their hands and such. So I think they started to breach into a whole new way of how to monetize that idol kind of relationship, but literally some of these tactics are now being used by really small idols who literally just perform in front of 10 people, and people are like, hey, I gladly pay $10 to take a Polaroid picture with you because I know you are working hard and I want to see you thrive. So it really depends on which scale you're looking at it and which point in life are they. So for example, a lot of the big companies, most of that support goes towards the companies, and then the idols themselves might get some sort of perk saying they're like they're allowed to stand in the middle or something like that. Well, if you go with the really smaller groups, I think it goes directly to or more directly to that person that you want to support. But we have no clue, so that's why we have you for help to explain us a little bit about OSHI. What is oshikatsu?
So, well, oshikatsu is any activity related to support your oshis. So, like going to the live performance if your oshi is a musician, going to like theater, going to whatever, or like buying CDs, DVDs, or the merchandise they have, or if your oshi is a YouTuber, like watching their contents,
Liking their videos.
is also regarded as oshikatsu. Oshikatsu used to be oshigoto.
Oh, that's where it comes from.
Oh, really? I thought it was the verb to push. No?
Oshi, like osu, the verb osu is not actually that osu, that's different osu. So
wow. I was totally incorrect.
the word osu is to recommend.
Osu osu.
Who's your oshi?
That's
this is my
different.
oshi.
Oh, it's different. Damn it. Right.
I
This one.
support.
All right. Well, look, I've totally.
So you go to
plundered the
events and
Japanese of
such. I think if you guys know idols a little bit, sometimes what you see a lot on stage is that each idol will have a color associated with them. And then if you want to make sure that that idol looks at you, you turn your glow stick and your clothes to the color of the person who is your oshi, the person that you're supporting, right? So there's a lot of things that changed around that recently. So a lot of people are using it now, and it's become kind of more acceptable in Japan.
Everyone's oshing someone.
Yeah.
How did that change happen?
80% of the population is oshing. It turns out.
Well, it's related to the otaku culture itself has got like population, and it's becoming more a casual thing to like claim yourself as otaku. I think that's it. Yes.
So it becomes kind of okay to support an idol or maybe an anime character or a voice actor or actress and such.
20 years ago, being an otaku was pretty frowned upon generally, wasn't it?
Yeah, so being otaku is something you want to hide in like 80s and 70s, 80s and 90s, and then after like 2005 or so, something like that, the trend has been changing, so like anyone can claim yourself like I am otaku or something.
Right. So you could be an otaku of something that's not at all otaku-ish. You could be an otaku of like EDM music, which is generally not associated with otakus at all.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so
Fair
it's
enough.
become like culturally acceptable to say I'm a fan of this or that. But what makes probably Japan a bit more interesting or different is that people do spend a lot of money on their
A
activities.
lot of money.
They want to see
Dedication.
them thrive. They want to just have fun. Part is for them, but also they want to support them as well. So there is overall respondents that 1,000 men and women in their 20s to 50s spend the average per month is 16,605 yen per month. But if it's a stage actor, they spend more than that, almost double. So it's 31,375. For voice actors, it's 16,686. And for YouTubers, it's 15,306. So that's like people are feeling comfortable to support their OSHI and on average in Japan.
Otaku Sensei, are those numbers simply reflective of the socio-economic status of the people who in general consume theatre, voice actors and YouTube respectively? Is there a reason why theatre actors are getting so much more money pushed upon them?
Yeah, stage
compared
actors
with
get a lot
voice
more.
actors and YouTubers?
I think it's just purely because the tickets price is different.
Okay, so
Oh,
it's
right,
socioeconomic
makes sense. Yeah,
situation.
I guess that's why YouTubers are the lowest of the term
That's
because
free, isn't it?
everyone
Yeah,
wants
yeah.
just free stuff.
Yeah, right. A bit of a free. Okay, I see. Yeah, this is not something. Well, I don't know about you. I've not seen this in the Western world in the same way. You have passionate
it
super
seems-
fans, but it's a
yeah.
different thing, isn't it? It's different.
It seems, yeah, you're so proud of your OSHI that you're literally willing to carry their face on your T-shirt or on a badge or something. What we see a lot in Harajuku, and to be honest, I think it's pretty cool when there's a group of girls and it's like 3 of them, and they all have their bags, and on their bags are like 100 little badges
Little
with
badges.
the face of the person that they support, and then they're really happy and really proud. They made friends that way. They're starting to have social events because they're going together to these live performances. And each of them will have designed their bags in a special way. And I hear a lot of girls doing some really, really fun stuff.
Yeah? Tell me more.
Like, for example, they will say, hey, we're throwing a birthday party for our favorite group or one of the people in the group. So, for example, I'm just going to go by colors. There's red, blue, and green boy. And one of them supports red. One of them supports green. One supports blue. It's Blue's birthday. So she invites all the other girls to just celebrate Blue's birthday. They maybe print his face on a cake and they have a party. And you can say, oh, in the Western world, you're more likely to think, oh, that's sad because they can never be with him.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it? We might be like, that's kind of stalkerish.
But if you think about it, she's having friends over. They're throwing a party. What's wrong with that?
It's a sense
People
of
just want to
community,
have fun.
Sense of
Exactly.
identity. That's right.
Identity, community. I mean, it's very
Common
easy
interest.
for the Western world to judge some sort of like support like that. But at the same time, you think about it, they're having a great time. They're making friends. They're going to events together, and it's not harming anyone. So
It's a beautiful thing, frankly.
yeah. Do you think that's like, but the way it's like socially acceptable in Japan compared to the West, do you think is like a uniquely Japanese thing?
Yeah, maybe. We like sharing things in general. So, like, when you have your favorite stuff, that's why we call this oshi. You want to recommend it to the others. And you want to share the appeal of your oshi with the others. So that they can, that's why we, like, celebrate same oshi's birthday with other oshi friends and all those things. Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
see.
I mean, do you think it's like right now it's a lot easier to be like true to yourself and say I'm a fan of group A, group B, person C?
Yeah, I think so. And the word oshi and otaku again is now becoming so like casual thing. Like before, being otaku is something you are ashamed of, but now being otaku is something that you're proud of. So yes.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. More and more we're seeing things like oshikatsu cafes popping up. Oshikatsu cafes, oshikatsu activities. Go to a cafe.
Yeah, it's like a cafe. It's like I love going to pop-up anime cafes. I've been to a couple of those, and in the end, if you go there and to support the anime, that's your oshi, that's your anime you're pushing that day, so you support that. But sometimes they have these also for idol groups and similar. What I've seen some girls do, they have these acrylic stands, and then they will take pictures with the food with their favorite idol. And again, in the Western sense, first you might just think, oh, that's just sad. But they're having fun. They're making their own Instagram accounts or Twitter accounts for like their oshi thing. And then fans who are also fan of that person will go, oh, that's cool. And then they follow each other, comment on each other's thing, go like, oh, where did you get that acrylic stand? Oh, that picture's really good. And again, you create a community and they're having fun.
And some people will even, at home, they will build an altar to their oshi, where they have all their merchandise and photos and so forth of their oshi, and they will go to the altar to express reverence for their oshi, as it were.
Before you judge that, I might have a lot of Sailor Moon goods all in one place. I do not call it an altar, but this is... Ta-da! It's where all my Sailor Moon goods are. So, yeah, maybe I call them a shrine. It's probably not much better.
You are arguably
a massive fan of Sailor Moon. Yes, I'm not even ashamed
Could
of it.
Sailor Moon be considered your oshi?
That's probably my oshi anime.
Aha!
So,
Cathy Cat
there you go.
loves a bit of oshi katsu.
Oh, yeah,
We're
totally.
going to call you oshi katsu kato.
Yeah, that's, for example, one of the things I like doing. So those bags that people have with all those badges are called ita bags, birthday parties, acrylic stands. Any other kind of oshikatsu fun things that people here do in Japan?
Oshikatsu. Oh, we have Oshi's funeral, Oshi's wedding ceremony.
What?
What, funeral?
Funeral?
Yeah, if your Oshi, like, I'm talking about anime Oshi. So when your Oshi
Is an anime
dies
character?
Killed off in the show.
yeah. We have like funeral, and if they have like wedding, like they get married, we have wedding ceremonies.
Oh, for like anime characters.
For yes, anime characters.
Okay. Funeral sounds a bit deep. That's a bit dark.
Wow, really?
But okay. I mean, I know some of my friends who are absolutely devastated when their favorite character die in the anime. So maybe to soothe that pain, she'll bring all her friends over and they have a little of a grieving session. Okay,
What?
I'm trying to comprehend.
If you had your character who's an oshi in, say, an anime, is that a different... they die in the anime, they pass away. Is that a different experience from having an oshi who's a real person who dies in real life?
I think that's probably something very different.
Oh, it depends on the individual, I think.
Okay.
But some people feel exactly the same way as like people in real life as in people in anime.
Passionate fandom.
Wow. Oh, there is also the oshikappuru, which is what we call in the Western world shipping, where you kind of have these two characters, for example, in an anime, or maybe just two members of whatever group you support, AKB, and you're like, they should be together, they're so cute. So you kind of ship them in your head. You go like, oh, they'd be so cute. So you can also be a supporter of that coupling scenario, which happens a lot in yaoi as
Is
well.
that called shipping?
Shipping, yeah. In the Western world, we call it shipping.
I didn't know that was called shipping.
Yeah, you kind of
Shipping?
ship these people, and you're like, ship.
As
They would be cute together.
As in of the boat.
I don't know where that comes from.
Okay.
English
All right.
speakers, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let me know, other English speakers.
So there's other things like on November 4th is Good Oshi Day. What does that
Oshi
mean?
Day.
いい推しの日. So it's just a word play. So like November is 11th month, right? So 1 is
Ii.
1, so ii.
Okay.
And November 4th, like 0, 4. So 0 is O. And 4 is shi. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oshi.
shi. So like all together, ii oshi. So we call it in ii oshi no hi. And it's just a chance to promote your oshi to the world on your social media. And then,
Ah.
yes.
E is also, that's how you say something is good. You say E.
Yeah, great. So it's the Great Oshi Day. So that's when you're trying to get the word out that you think they're awesome and more people should know about them.
So on E Oshi Day, social media is just crowded with everybody putting up posts about their oshi.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There's also Oshimas, a festival to celebrate the birthday of one's own oshi.
Ah,
We call it actually Seitan-sai.
Satan's
違う。
Satan's eye.
Seitan-sai.
Please explain.
Seitansai is a word for birthday, but actually the original meaning of Seitansai is the birthday of God,
Oh, okay.
like Jesus. Or
Oh, right.
Wow, okay,
really?
again,
Oh,
we're
wow.
bringing in the
See,
religious
we're bringing in the religion here,
connotations. Oh my
the
God.
faith. I see.
Okay.
Right, I see. So, Ushikatsu and the otaku life, could it be argued that it gives people a deep sense of meaning in their lives?
Yes, for some people, yes.
So it becomes like part of their identity in a way. I don't know. I'm trying to sometimes get my head around different. I try to get my head around it sometimes in certain aspects. So, for example, in Japan, it's more acceptable to have a lot of goods of that person. But in the West, if you had your whole room full of, say, Beyonce posters, depending on your age, you might get some frowns for that.
Might be considered a bit odd.
But while in Japan, it's a little bit more socially acceptable. And some people are very big fans. For example, some housewives are very big fans of a singer, and they have everything around from that singer. And their husband has to just deal with it, right?
Their husband has to just deal with it. Oh.
And vice versa. And vice versa.
Wow, really? This seems like a fast way to end a marriage, if I'm frank. This seems
But I guess in Japan, it's again, it brings us back to a lot of our podcast topics where Japan is very much live and let live. You can go to a shrine or a temple if you want to. It's fine. Live and let live. People kind of mind their own business and like, okay, as long as you're happy and you're not causing damage to anyone, it's fine. That kind of live and let live, I guess.
And also another thing is like oshi is like you don't particularly have like romantic feelings towards oshi always. Sometimes people, yes, they have some kind of romantic feelings towards them, but sometimes they can be your like inspiration or your like idol.
I see.
Or like your muse
Yes.
kind of thing. I mean, one of the people I know explained that she was very much into another idol. And she explained, oh, it's just, no, it's not, she's not my love interest. She's my oshi. And I tried to ask, what's the difference? And she said, the oshi is you want them to be well and do well, almost like a pet. So you support them, but you don't necessarily have romantic feelings towards them.
Yes. So we sometimes have some kind of parental feeling towards your oshi. So you want to somehow like support them, nurture them. Sometimes even if you go too far, you want to educate them.
Really?
So you kind of want to
Wow.
see them thrive. It brings us back to that image of, parents sitting there at the soccer match going, woo, or going to the, whatever first performance you're doing.
On your
going,
Carl.
"Yay." That kind of thing. You want to see them thrive, and that's why I decide to support them. And, you also receive, for some people, community out of it, sense of belonging, fun, entertainment, these kind of things. Okay, we have you here as idol specialists. So what do you find fun and rewarding about oshikatsu? Or what do many people find fun and rewarding, if you don't want to specify it on you?
One big thing is again like sharing your hobby with the others. Particularly like supporting this particular person. But again, there is this really complex feeling about it because you want to be number one otaku of this oshi like otaku community. But at the same time, you want to promote to create more friends.
So there's a frenemy situation.
Yeah, kind of frenemy.
Really?
There is a word called dotan kyohi, meaning that I hate all the other otakus who is supporting the same oshi, like my same oshi.
But then again, I heard a really heartwarming story, actually fairly recent. We were interviewing people on the streets of Tokyo, and one girl said she saw someone she wanted to support. It was like very small idol, and she was very nervous as a foreigner going to that kind of chika idol kind of, lower, was it like very unknown idol event, and she went there and she was very nervous, and the fans actually were like, wow, you here for her? And she was like, yeah, kind of. And they're like, great, come on in. And they welcomed
that's
her
lovely.
in. They helped her out with the goods. They kind of, hey, it would be cool if you come again. And I think that's the very positive fan support culture is you want to, again, want to get people in. You want to make them feel comfortable in your community and then kind of spread the word about the person that you're trying to support. So it can go each ways. It depends on, again, the personality of each human, whether you go down the dark side and you kind of try to hate on everyone around you, or you go down the light side and you're like, right, this is support. More people coming in supports my Oshi. Therefore, yes, come on in.
Can you have more than one Oshi?
You can. But if you have too many, you are regarded as DD, which stands for 誰でも大好き.
I love everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. So it kind of makes you less, then it's just like,
Makes you
not
less
really,
committed to one.
Less committed. Yeah, it makes me less of a core fan. Okay.
So, if you have two members of the same group, you like them both, you have to choose which one's going to be your Oshi.
Then in that case, you can be 箱推し.
Okay.
箱推し means your Oshi is your whole group. Like,
Right. I see.
Hako, like in box? Like
Yes,
you support
hako.
the whole box?
Right.
but
I see.
箱 also means
whole
the
set.
venue
Oh.
of the live performance.
Where do we draw a distinction between being an otaku with Oshis and just being a fan?
Nowadays, it's almost the same.
Okay, I think it's a lot of also of identity, right? You can just say, I'm a casual fan, or you're like, no, I have an Oshi, I think they're great.
Okay.
Kind of thing. Couple of things that I found interesting what girl otakus will do. I think right now even the girl otakus seem to be more open and upfront about supporting usually male idols or voice actors. They sometimes will like in groups, like I said, meet up in groups, go there in groups. Some will actually lose weight for the live performances.
Wow.
So, they're like,
It's
I
like a
want to,
wedding.
and I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, in case they look at me, I want to look my best.
Okay.
Some will like, get hair appointments, get like mani-pedi done, even though you might not be able to see it on stage. It's kind of that feeling of, yes, I'm going there looking my best,
Presenting
being my
my
best. Some will dress differently. We had that recently in an interview where they were like, okay, usually for the live performances, I would wear something blue to support my Oshi, but this time they're actually on a theater stage. So we both went out, we got ourselves a glamorous dress, we're looking like the part, so we're not going to make our Oshi feel embarrassed by turning up in like
In
our
a
t-shirt and
t-shirt.
otaku gear. We're
Wow.
actually going to like dress down, but we have like little accents that show who we're actually supporting. And then we're
Wow.
having tons of fun, and I'm
A lot
like,
of
wow,
dedication.
like I think I should start being a fan of someone and have my
Maybe.
own Oshi.
You should Osh more.
Yeah, maybe I should Osh you.
Come on, Osh!
Yeah,
Have a good Osh!
Come next time you have a performance, I'll Osh you.
I look forward to being Oshed by Cathy Cat.
All right, I'll bring out my glow stick again. I
Bless
literally
you.
just bought a brand
Very
new
kind of
glow
you,
stick
thank
for
you.
that last year.
Hey, I'll Osh Cathy Cat too. Tell me some
you.
Cathy Cat activities. I'll Osh you like you've never been Oshed before.
All right, Twitch is usually where I
Twitch.
do all my streams.
Yes.
That's where people can hang out with me, and if people give me lots of support, I sing and I dance as well for the sake of it, because why not? So there we go.
I will Osh Cathy Cat on the Twitch.
Yes, and you guys feel free to Osh both of us. We have some social media. For example, Ladybeard.
Hey! At Ladybeard_Japan and my group at BabyBeard_Japan. Cathy Cat.
Oh, that's Cathy Cat _TV on the Twitch, the Twitter, the Instagram. Also a lot of YouTube videos and on NHK Japan Railway Journal. But I would like to know of all of you guys, who's your Oshi? Now,
who are you
after we
Oshing?
explain to you what Oshin is, who's your Oshi? Who is that one thing you're like, yeah, I'm supporting them, or maybe that anime, or that actor, or that YouTuber, or that idol? Let us know. Just share a little bit. It's not we learned from this. There's nothing to be ashamed anymore.
Nothing.
Otaku is not embarrassing anymore. Live your otaku. Show your colors. Free your spirit.
Take out your otaku thing socks. That wasn't even a word. Thing socks.
Hey, maybe you have colored socks in the color of your favorite Oshi. Why
Yeah,
not?
that makes sense. Why? You should have. If you don't have that, you should have it, eh?
Right.
And leave us a comment and send us a message on the thingamajigs.
Looking forward to your Oshi comments. And don't forget to check out our YouTube video because we look glamorous.
And let's say a big old thank you for our otaku expert for coming for your help today.
Please come
Thank you so
again.
much.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
And dear viewers, we'll see you next time on Cat with Beard. Ush, 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 ush.